and thanks for joining us for Arts 24. And we're starting with a film showing the world's oldest moving images. 130 years ago in France, two brothers, Louis and Auguste Lumière, ushered in the age of cinema. The head of the Cannes Film Festival, Thierry Frémaux, is paying tribute to their invention in his documentary called Lumière, The Adventure Continues. It features some 100 immaculately restored short films that revolutionised the world of entertainment. Andrew Hillier has more.
For lovers of cinema, this is a sacred place, the birthplace of modern film. It was here on March 19th in 1895 that the Lumière brothers filmed their factory workers with a revolutionary piece of technology. A first of many, a movie backdrop, a scene, and the stars themselves. Workers leaving the factory at the end of their shift. And it's thanks to the efforts of this man, Director General of the Cannes Film Festival, that the shed in the film has been so well preserved, right down to the present day.
We're going to find ourselves directly underneath the original framework.
It was here that Thierry Frémaux began his career as a volunteer.
It's the original period framework that we didn't want to replace. We left it exposed. We wanted to leave it as was, worn down by the passage of time with its blemishes and mishaps.
The Lumière factories were demolished at the beginning of the 1970s. This shed is the only vestige that remains. Abandoned, it was almost lost forever.
I knew this place when I was a child, a teenager. It was completely exposed to the elements, nothing protected it. It was like a dump, a waste ground.
A protected site, it's now the entrance to the Institut Lumière, inaugurated in 1998.
Look at this magnificent iron door. We can touch it. This is what the workers touch themselves. It doesn't move anymore, but it feels like we're there. The same goes for the floor. It's the same.
Fertile ground for cinema. For 10 years, the Lumière brothers' cameras told the story of the world around them. With only 17 meters of reel, each film lasts a maximum 50 seconds. Thierry Frémaux's feature brings together the 100 or so films, which showcase scenarios ranging from action to comedy and everything else in between. A short walk away from the shed, the family home that belonged to the Lumière brothers has been turned into a museum. Inside, a real treat. The world's first cinematograph, which films and projects images.
At the time, they put the reels here and the lamp here. It was like projecting a slide.
On December 28, 1895, 9 months after workers leaving the factory was filmed, 13 films are showcased in Paris for a lucky audience of 33. In 10 years, a staggering 1,428 films will be produced. This shed, the birthplace of cinema, once forgotten, now reminds visitors where it all began.
You see these wooden beams? They're the same ones above your head.
Oh wow, it's still the same. It's incredible. It's good because it reminds us of the old days.
We come here because we know that this is the birthplace of cinema. It was born here.
A journey and a tribute to the two brothers who, here in Lyon 130 years ago, ushered in the age of cinema.
Lovely images there. Almost 60 years on from its release, the Oscar-winning cult film Midnight Cowboy, which starred Dustin Hoffman and Jon Voight, is being made into a musical. The story of a male prostitute and a con man hustling for survival in New York will open at London's Southwark Theatre at the start of April. Jennifer Ben-Brahim goes behind the scenes of the rehearsals.
I'm Joe Buck from Texas.
Enrico Rizzo from the Bronx.
And I'm gonna buy you a drink. What the hell do you think of that?
A tale of two hustlers on the streets of 1960s New York.
Hustler, you didn't know that?
An unlikely premise for a musical production. Midnight Cowboy is getting a theatrical treatment.
very dark. It's about homelessness, it's about poverty, it's about trauma, masculine fragility, sexual abuse, loneliness, and hope. I often think if you were describing West Side Story now, which is about gang violence, knife crime, rape, you'd think, well, why would that be a musical? And I think a good story lends itself to a good piece of theatre.
Whatever you do, I hope it's worth it. Stitching me up, hope it was worth it.
Midnight Cowboy, based on James Leo Herlihy's novel, took home 3 Oscars in 1969, including Best Picture and Best Director. John Voight and Dustin Hoffman played Joe Buck in Ratso, a troubled young sex worker and a homeless disabled man. Big shoes to fill for the leads of the musical production.
We felt really that was really important to not just do impressions of what people love already, but show Joe Buck and Ratso from a new angle, from a new light, which I think the music in this musical allows us to do.
Joe, in this world of New York, with not that much money, not very much going on, draws to Ratso, and they form this unlikely alliance and friendship to bond and survive together. Ratso and Joe sort of are the upper to each other's downer, if you like.
6 decades on from the publication of the book, the tale of a friendship forged through struggle seems timeless. The production, 6 years in the making, is set to open at London Southwark Playhouse in April.
More than 20 years after his success with the film Asterix and Obelix Mission Cleopatra, the French director Alain Chabat has created a 3D animated series. It was presented at the Series Mania Festival in Lille before its release on Netflix. Based on the 7th comic book Asterix and the Big Fight from 1961, there are 5 episodes of about 20 minutes. The actor Gilles Lelouch is the voice of Obelix, whom he played in the live-action movie Asterix and Obelix The Middle Kingdom. The director, Alain Chabat, shares his enthusiasm for the project.
Oh, no, sorry, that one's actually sea bream.
Unhygienic, so you sure your fish aren't stale?
You are joking. I picked them up on the beach just last week. I stuck to the lukewarm chain so you can eat them till the cows come home.
There's a lot of flies, though.
Oh, no, I wouldn't charge you for them. The year is 50 BC. All of Gaul is occupied by the Romans.
All? No way.
Above all, it was a lot of fun and a lot of work, but a lot of fun. And I worked with a team of enthusiasts, a great team to who I really pay tribute. Working with all these passionate individuals in all areas of animation is truly wonderful. I have a lot of admiration for people who do animation.
And that will be on our screens at the end of April on Netflix. Next then, jumping from dizzying heights to simulated fight scenes and being engulfed by flames. It's all in a day's work for stunt people. Jennifer Ben-Brahim tells us more about the often overlooked film industry job.
Behind the wheel, but in front of the camera.
Gonna get a good amount of speed here.
Yeah.
Drifting and spinning at full speed. And making the tires squeal. This is all part of Chris Christensen's job as a stuntman. He's trained some of Hollywood's biggest stars, from Tom Cruise to Keanu Reeves and Angelina Jolie.
The production companies will pay to send actors out so that they can get a good amount of actual driving knowledge. It's always better when we can do practical stunts as opposed to using any sort of CGI.
Performing real stunts is the name of the game for Kyle Soderman.
I'm excited. We're going to do this.
His first challenge, a 180-degree turn.
All right, start working that juice a little bit earlier, Kyle. Try to get that thing capped off.
These stunt people are taking on some of the most dangerous moves instead of actors. In Los Angeles, these young recruits dream of joining the profession. Today's lesson, how to get shot whilst making it look as realistic as possible.
We want to make sure that we get shot and get to the ground as fast as possible. The reason is we don't want to do, they just refer to it as the actor death, okay? You don't want to, boom, take that reaction, and action. Bang.
From beginners to seasoned professionals looking to hone their fighting skills. With every stunt, these professionals risk their lives. Everything must be perfectly measured to avoid injury. Today is a final stunt double rehearsal for an $8 million film.
I need to get over here faster.
The scene will be repeated multiple times from different angles. The stunt double will replace actor James Franco in a scene where he is searching for a missing young woman.
As action designers and stuntmen, we want to land in a table. We want to land in a table. We do a big backflip, big explosions, big cool things. But you have to rein it in. It has to be a part of that moment, because if you're not serving the script, you're hurting it.
Actors have Oscars, but stunt performers have no awards or official recognition. They hope that their work in the shadows will one day be under the spotlight.
There we go, impressive stuff. And that brings us to the end of the show. We're going to leave you with a new exhibition in Paris looking at Snoopy as a fashion icon. The show at the Hotel du Grand Veneur in the Marais neighbourhood is part of the celebrations for the 75th anniversary of Snoopy, Charlie Brown and the Peanuts comic strip crew, created by late American illustrator Charles Schulz. Thanks for watching. See you next time.